Colorado at Oregon. We haven't even talked about it yet. Yikes. Yikes. We've known for some time though. Like I know
This
that the
was
national media was trying to like pump up Colorado. I took Oregon minus 21, if you don't recall on our previous show. Colorado, they're just not deep. There's no help for Shedeur Sanders. Now, I know I've been on record saying up until this point, this was last week, up until this point, I would vote Shedeur Sanders Heisman Trophy winner, and that was true. And it is that vote is liquid throughout the year, right? Currently, my vote does not lie with Shedeur Sanders
it's
anymore.
still in the Pac-12 though, right? Isn't it?
It might be. It literally might be. We'll get to that later, but Bo Nix played phenomenal. I mean, Marquise Irving, Bucky Irving dominated. Actually, didn't matter who was running the ball. They just absolutely mauled Colorado. We knew this. They're just a team like Oregon, teams like Oregon State that are just much bigger, more physical. I think Colorado might have a tough time handling those guys. And look, Dan Lanning was not shy about it either. He was not shy about it. Yeah, so it was funny though because I'm watching the post game or whatever, and they're interviewing Dan Lanning, right? And Deion was nowhere to be found on the field for an interview. ESPN trying to ride the Colorado bandwagon. Look, I love Colorado. I think what they're doing there is awesome. And maybe the segment's been too much hate, but yeah, it's like we said, it was already incredible that they went 3-0 the way that they did. Oregon, just a much different level of competition. I'm sorry. Oregon has a chance to make the playoffs. All right. Colorado has a chance to make a bowl game, right? Two different levels of competition. So I respect Colorado for coming out there and still, fighting to the end, doing their best. But Oregon was more physical and more talented than Colorado was. And that was the moral of the story. And they were also fired up. They were fired up. So, I mean, Deion's got
Something
that
I did
target on
not.
his back.
That's what I'm saying. So I took Colorado plus 21, and something I did not consider, which I should have, is normally when a team like Colorado, as 21-point underdogs, goes into the home stadium of Oregon, usually they're the ones that have a crazy chip on their shoulder. Usually they're the ones playing with nothing to lose. This way, Oregon was fired up to play that game, like you said. That they play and they jumped on them early, and it gave Colorado no chance. And the thing is that Colorado, they kind of ran the ball fine. They didn't even try to, right? The running backs had 13 attempts, right? Or 14 attempts. And I thought hopefully they get Alton McCaskill going, as they get into Pac-12 play, because they're going to need a running game, right, to win in the Pac-12. Obviously, they don't have the O-line to do it against a front like Oregon. But they'll be rushing yards to be had in the Pac-12 for Colorado. And yeah, I was expecting them to play a little bit more, but this is something called the threshold, right? Where Oregon was just so much more talented that they just jumped on them, and there was nothing Colorado could do about it, offensively or defensively. And the game script got thrown out the window, after you're down, 35 at half. It was just tough. Credit Oregon though. I mean, I don't think it really changes how much I think about either team, and I know it probably should. I'm still pretty high on Oregon, but I'm still really high on the rest of the Pac-12 as well. So I'm not ready to make them, instant Pac-12 favorites by any means yet. And then also Colorado, they were 21-point dogs. They were not supposed to win this game. They got to get healthy. Obviously, I think they have a bye week next week, right? Or no, it's USC and then a bye week. So it doesn't get easier next week. But then after that bye week, hopefully you get rest. Hopefully you get some depth coming back.
Get Travis Hunter back.
Yeah, exactly. Get everyone back for the rest of your Pac-12 play, because USC probably doesn't look very favorable next week for you. Yeah, I mean, a lot was put on Shedeur Sanders, and he couldn't handle it. And not that it was entirely his fault. He took some bad sacks, I thought, early in the game, but also I have no idea what's going on downfield. I have no idea. I mean, his protection didn't hold up, but he sometimes tries to do too much.
He was 23 for 33, 159 and a touchdown. I mean, that's not great, but dude, given what what does Bo Nix actually do with this squad? I think Bo Nix does worse.
Oh, for sure. Bo Nix if you switch Shedeur Sanders and Bo Nix, I mean, you're getting the same outcome here, if not worse. And Bo Nix is great. He's great in the system with an offensive line that keeps him upright, receivers that make separation, then a really, really good running game with two-headed monsters. And even Jordan James, too. You throw a third guy in there. I'm in Oregon. Bo Nix is perfect. They can win a national title, maybe with Bo Nix. They can make the playoffs. But yeah, Colorado, yeah,